No one expected the new girl to just blend in. No flashy sneakers, no designer backpack, no halo of attention following her. Just a plain black hoodie, worn jeans, and scuffed sneakers that had definitely seen better days. She moved like a shadow, head down, shoulders slightly hunched, avoiding eye contact, as if the world around her were a storm she couldn't afford to notice. If you passed her in the hallway, you'd never guess she carried a storm inside. A storm born from roaring engines, speeding down empty streets, leaping from helicopters, and chasing danger like it was a game. That part of her life, the one full of adrenaline and chaos, was buried deep. Not here. Not in this quiet, judgmental town. Her name was Maya Sinclair, 15, the new girl in a school ruled by cliques, gossip, and the cruel humor of teenagers who had never learnt empathy. A place where confidence could either shield you or mark you for destruction. It didn't take long for trouble to notice her. Tyler, the so-called king of the cafeteria. Athletic, smug, with a grin that said he'd never lost, never feared. He nudged his friends and let his eyes drift to her. "Looks like someone got lost on the way to a funeral," he said. Loud enough that Maya's pulse skipped, but she didn't flinch. His friends chuckled. Leaning in, hungry for a reaction, they laughed. Loud, cruel, like it was a game. Maya didn't flinch. Not a twitch. She just kept moving, tray in hand, scanning the cafeteria for a corner where no one would notice her. But in a school built on gossip and social wars, quiet corners were a myth, you daff. Tyler called, voice sharp, cutting through the hum of chatter. "I'm talking to you." Maya paused, then calmly stepped around him, silent as a shadow, letting him fume. That silence, that effortless comment, wasn't fear. But they had no idea yet. Over the next few days, the teasing escalated. Snide whispers in the hall. A sticky kick-me note slapped to her back. Books tripping to the floor. A locker jammed shut. Every prank tested her patience, but Maya handled it like water flowing over stone. It wasn't the bullying that cut deepest. It was the empty eyes. The silent witness of students, leaning just far enough to see. Teachers glancing by without intervening, alone. That was the sting. By the fourth day, it turned dangerous. Maya was heading to her last class when Tyler and his crew cornered her in the stairwell. The hallways were empty. No teachers. No security. Just the echo of sneakers bouncing off concrete. "You think you're better than us, huh?" Tyler sneered, stepping close, his shadow swallowing hers. Maya didn't answer. Not a word, not a twitch. He stepped even closer, looming over her like a predator circling prey. "Let's wipe that smug look off your face," he growled, pulling back his hand to strike. Time slowed. That's when everything shifted. Maya's hand shot up like lightning, catching Tyler's wrist mid-air. His grin froze, gone in an instant. The slap he had been so sure of hung suspended in the air. Silence slammed into the stairwell like a heavy door. Her grip tightened, steady and unyielding. Then, in one fluid, practiced motion, she twisted his arm. Tyler yelped, stumbling backward, hitting the wall with a thud. "What the?" His friends froze, eyes wide, mouths open. Maya stepped forward, her voice low, calm, but carrying a weight that made the bravado drain from the boys' faces. "I don't want to hurt anyone," she said, "but touch me again, and I won't hesitate." Tyler, red-faced and furious, lunged once more. This time, Maya moved faster. A sharp kick to his shin, a pivot, a palm strike to his chest that sent him staggering, slamming into the wall. Nothing flashy, no showy moves, but every strike precise, every motion deliberate, controlled, tactical. The kind of discipline her grandfather had drilled into her from day one. The kind of lessons that weren't taught in schoolyards, but in quiet mornings, in dusty gyms, with sweat and repetition. And then, a voice cut through the tension like a blade. Principal's office. Now, a teacher had finally seen enough. The aftermath was chaos. Tyler's parents screamed about injustice and unprovoked violence. Maya got suspended. And the rumors, they spread like wildfire through the halls. She's some kind of ninja. I heard her grandfather was in the military. No, he's more than that. Whispers followed her everywhere, but Maya didn't flinch. She didn't need anyone to believe the truth. Maya sat alone in the principal's office, eyes fixed on the world outside the window. She didn't regret standing up for herself, but now that everyone knew, the weight of it pressed on her chest, heavy and unfamiliar. The door opened. Her guardian stepped in. Bald, muscular, Vang Diesel incarnate. He didn't rush to speak. He simply sat down beside her, a steady presence. The principal shuffled papers, voice uneasy, hinting at expulsion. Then finally turned to face him, calm but unmistakably firm. My granddaughter doesn't go looking for fights, he said, but she's trained to finish them if they come looking for her. The room went silent. Even the principal seemed to realize arguing was pointless. When Maya returned to school the following week, everything had shifted. Tyler avoided her like fire. The hallways, once echoing with cruel laughter, were quiet, or, at least, the jeers had stopped. Eyes followed her, yes, but this time with curiosity, respect, and in some cases, a flicker of admiration. Maya didn't care about popularity. What mattered was the mask was gone. She didn't have to hide anymore. At lunch, a quiet girl named Zoe slid onto the bench next to her. I saw what you did, she whispered. No one's ever stood up to Tyler like that. Maya looked at her, expression calm but tired. He needed to be stopped. Zoe shook her head, smiling. No, you didn't just stop him. You gave the rest of us courage. By the end of the semester, Maya wasn't just the new girl anymore. She was the one who stood tall when everyone else stayed silent. And maybe that's what being Vin Diesel's granddaughter really meant. Not just strength, not just skill, but the courage to use it when it mattered most.